Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Star Wars Meg, and today I'm going to be answering your questions. A while back I asked you to ask me anything about Star Wars, about my relationship with Star Wars, and you guys delivered, so today I'm going to be answering those questions. Before we get going with the video guys, I will please ask you to hit like on this video, to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and to hit the notifications bell to be alerted every time I upload a new video. Without further ado, here are my answers to your questions. So I'm going to be answering these in no particular order, I'm just looking at them on the screen. This first question is by HyperK1, who says, when was the first time you watched Star Wars and how old were you? Oh, and by the way, I love your vids. Thank you very much, first of all. So I was very young. The first one I saw in cinemas, in theaters, was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace in 1999. I was a bit too young to remember that, but a few years later, when I was about 7 or 8, I do remember watching the original trilogy at home with my dad. And, you know, I fell in love with the franchise instantly. So yeah, I'm going to say officially about 2, but it was really when I was 7, 8, 9, and then obviously my teens that I really got into Star Wars. EL_JR_gameplay asks, what Star Wars movie did you see first? Also, I love your vids. Thank you very much. The first Star Wars film I officially saw first was The Phantom Menace, but the one I remember was Empire Strikes Back. I really liked Yoda. I really liked the relationship, the whole family thing with Vader, Luke, Leia. I really just fell in love with Star Wars as a whole, and it was Empire that did it for me, which is why if you go check out my Star Wars ranking video where I rank every Star Wars movie, Empire is my #1 spot. So the next question is by Ivan Pavkovic. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. And he says, I would love to learn more about the Battle of Yavin. Could you make a video about it? Absolutely. I'm actually in the process of making more and more Star Wars Explained videos where I look into the history and the timeline of Star Wars events. So that will be coming up. He also asks a bunch of other questions. He says, have you ever been to the Galaxy's Edge? If not, are you planning to? I am definitely planning to do that one day. I have not been as of yet, but it looks very enticing. What do you expect of Star Wars 10 and the future ObiWan Kenobi series? So I actually have a video on what I expect from the Kenobi series, and I don't know when you're going to be watching this in the future, but I should also have a video out about what the next Star Wars trilogy is going to be about. But to answer it in this video in a very short way, I expect Star Wars 10, or rather the next Star Wars films, the next Star Wars trilogy, to not be focused at all on the characters we know and to be focused on a different part of the galaxy. I think it will be more likely the High Republic, which is what Disney and Lucasfilm are investing at the moment in terms of books, which will come out in August of 2020. And I think they will expand the Star Wars universe as we know it. And in my opinion, that's very exciting. As for the Kenobi series, to put it very bluntly, I think we're going to see all of what Obi-Wan got up to on Tatooine between episode 3 and episode 4. So make do of that answer what you will. Whoopinator021 says, what do you think about Mandalorian? Absolutely love it. Season 1 was very exciting. I live in the UK, so we actually got The Mandalorian slightly later than, I assume, US people and Canadians. So we caught on to the hype a bit later. But I absolutely love The Mandalorian, and I think Season 2 is going to be phenomenal. Check out my video about the link between Palpatine and Baby Yoda, and also about the original trilogy characters that we're going to see in The Mandalorian. When Season 2 comes out, I am going to do an episode-by-episode breakdown, so do stay tuned for that. Ivan Pavkovic again says, what do you love about Star Wars? What do I love about Star Wars? I love the fact that Star Wars is so completely far removed from real life, and I feel like many Star Wars fans have that same opinion, that you can just escape in Star Wars. It's something completely different to what we know in the human world, quote unquote, human real world. I think that's what I love most about Star Wars, the aliens, you know, I'm not so big on the space politics, but it all comes into it. Who is your favorite character? Ivan Pavkovic asks. My favorite character, That's a tricky one, but I'm going to give it to Emperor Palpatine, simply for being the best evil badass in film history, and I guess in book history if you're into the Star Wars novelizations, which are very cool. Please check it out. No one can take away from you the power of reading and what it does. I really, really recommend anyone who doesn't like The Last Jedi, the film, to check out The Last Jedi novelization. It's very well worth the read. And finally, who shot first? Definitely Han. In case you're wondering what this controversy is about, in the original Star Wars 1977, George Lucas had Han Solo visibly shoot Greedo, and then it was changed to make it seem like Greedo shot first and Han was retaliating in self-defense. But like many fans, I don't agree with that second one. I think Han definitely shot first, and we can't take away from his character that kind of badass side to him. And from Mr. Boomer, what's your personal favourite Yoda scene? Mine would be his scene in The Last Jedi when he returns to guide Luke. That's a very good scene, my friend. I would say either the one in Empire Strikes Back, where we first see Yoda, or in Return of the Jedi, when he and Old Ben talk to Luke in ghost form. I think that's quite a cool scene. Very underrated. I would say The Last Jedi scene's definitely up there. It was nice to see a cameo of Yoda in the sequel trilogy. I don't think anyone really expected that, if I'm being completely honest with you. So that's it for the questions, guys. Thank you so much for asking. Please bear in mind that this is not the only Q&A I'm going to do. If you have any questions for me, just leave them in any of my videos. I read all my notifications, I read all your guys' comments. So just ask me anything about Star Wars, my relationship with Star Wars, because I will be doing a second Q&A at some point in the future, whether that's in a few weeks or a few months or whenever. There will be another one. So thanks a lot for checking it out, guys. I will see you next time. I'm Star Wars Meg. One more time, please hit like on this video, subscribe to my channel, do all of that good stuff down below, and I'll see you next time.